Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking.
Testing. Okay, that sounds good. Okay. That sounds good. Testing. Testing. Okay, that sounds good. Cool. Okay, mic's good. We need to do a reboot on a Sunday show next week. We need to do a reboot on a Sunday show next week. Why do we need a reboot? What did we do last Sunday? This past Sunday? We covered... I'm trying to remember. I think we covered... Oh, yeah, Lost Suicide. That's what you guys voted on. We were gonna... I did... I mean, there was a point where Lost Suicide and the Sunday show was tied up, and then when I look back a few hours later, most of all the voting had been done for me to play Lost Suicide. Again, I have a great love for the PlayStation community, but we have to understand that we're in a time period where we are taking L's, and it's okay to acknowledge that PlayStation isn't doing what's in our best interest. All right. One of the biggest resets we had was between the launch of the PlayStation 3 and almost the middle of its lifespan. You know, like I think I think it got revealed, if I'm not mistaken, it got revealed in 2005. It came out in 2006. It had a rough launch in 2007. It tried to get back on its feet in 2008. In 2009, they finally found their identity with Killzone 2 and Uncharted 2. I mean, it took a fucking while for them to get their shit together. Now, I mean, it was a different time then. Now, it might take fucking 10 years for them to get their shit together. You know? They wasted 5 years listening to the wrong people. We've talked about that multiple times. I've talked about that multiple times. It looks like they're coming around, but not as much because it's not hurting their pockets. So I feel like now that a lot of, like they're not making a lot of games, so they're not getting a lot of revenue for software. The PC ports are not all doing good. There's only been one PC port that actually put money in Sony's pocket that they own, and that would be Helldivers 2. And that's it. I mean, that's it. Hardware is, I guess, is selling all right. Controllers sell good. VR, not so much. Don't really care if you love VR or not. Don't care if VR is good or not. Doesn't sell good. the majority of the PlayStation community could care less about VR. I feel like if it was between VR and a handheld, now in 2025, I think a lot of you guys would support it. I've always fucked with Sony's handhelds, but now I think that more PlayStation fans are open to the idea of PlayStation making handhelds, specifically because of the Nintendo Switch, the Steam Deck, and even Xbox trying to dip their feet into the handheld market through third-party partners. But yeah, a lot of our PlayStation brothers and sisters 5 years ago told Sony it was okay to go third-party or start to go third-party by putting older games on PC. And a lot of those individuals said that the point of no return would be day and date. They said if they ever went day and date, it wouldn't be good. And then 2 years later, or 2 or 3 years later, they did go day and date with some other games, and then there was concessions made. They're like, well, as long as they don't go day and date with a first party Sony owned, and then Helldivers 2 came out, and they was like, well, that doesn't matter because Helldivers 2 is multiplayer. So then people made other concessions, and then we have the brand new Lost Soul Aside, which is a single player, Sony published, day and date, Sony funded, PlayStation exclusive. And it's day and date. And it's bad. And I don't want to hear anybody try to say it's good. I know a day one fucking title when I see one, and that was not a day one title. The launch was ass. They launched the demo the same day the game came out. No review codes were given out, which was suspicious as fuck. There are so many things wrong with Lost Soul Aside. Not to mention it took 10 years to finally come out because the developer wanted to develop it as a one-person indie game. Which, of course, looking at what we got, we would have been waiting another 10 years. Without Sony's help. There are a lot of internal problems that are now coming to light. But at the end of the day, I really wish I knew who at PlayStation looked over at them and said, they got everything together, let's team up. It couldn't have been the same person that was like, let's get Stellar Blade, which was Shinya Yoshida. So I don't think it was Shinya Yoshida. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was Shinya Yoshida. Shinya Yoshida, he gave me two of my favorite games. Fist, a side-scrolling Metroidvania game, and then he gave me Stellar Blade. And there's a couple others that I probably can't name right now, but Shinya Yoshida really was locking in with, third-party indie devs. He was really locking in. This Lost Soul Aside, I don't know about that, man. There's something wrong there. I don't know who was in charge of contracting that dev, but they didn't see it. And again, allowing the game to stay day and date with PC was just horrible. That's something that I know that Herman allowed, which should not have been allowed. Yeah, not good. Not good. Yeah, PlayStation VR 2 is game changing. The thing about it is the price isn't good enough for more people to play it. So the technology is great, and they have a lot of great games, but a lot of people aren't buying it because the price is outrageous. Facts are facts, man. Facts are facts. This is not just JayTech speaking with his wallet. This is literally the rest of the PlayStation gaming community that you can turn your neck around and look at and see that they don't have a VR in their house. And a lot of them will say, well, it's the price. I'm not going to spend that much time with the product, and I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my money. Now, I did hear a lot of people say the same thing about the Vita at the launch of the Vita, but I completely disagree because, again, 2 years later, a lot of people well, not 2 years later, about 3 or 4 years later, a lot of people contradicted themselves with the emergence of the Wii U, and then after the Wii U, the Switch, and we see that the Vita did much better things than the Switch, even with remote play, again allowing you to play what's on your PS4 and in some cases what's on your PS3 through the Vita screen while you're home with Wi-Fi. So, PlayStation really started a lot of things. Even, again, remote play started with PSP, allowing you to play certain PS3 games on your PSP screen. It started, years ago during the PS3 generation, but Nintendo gets the credit because of the Switch. Did I have, and I've said this story before, did I have a device that allowed me to plug in and play PSP titles on my TV screen? Yeah. I think I recorded some footage of that. I just don't know where it's at. So I wouldn't be able to find it, but I wish I could. It's just probably wouldn't be able to find it. I'll try real quick. I'm trying to see if I have if there's an old YouTube account that's still up. No, I'm not seeing. Okay. There's some footage, but it's just not mine. So shout out to P.O.L. Game Review and Music. Knowledge is power. We have to, as PlayStation gamers, you have to know this stuff. You can't keep mindlessly giving credit to Nintendo when PlayStation was doing a lot of this shit way before. Again, way before a lot of you guys even knew that PlayStation was fucking around with this. Like motion controls. PlayStation was actively fucking around with motion control cameras during the PS2 generation. So here's a video. So in this video, you see in this video, he has one of the little amplifiers that make the graphics look better when you're hooking up stuff. One second. I want to change some stuff. There we go. So yeah, right here, this is what I talked about. I mean, I remember this. Like, I remember going to school one day. I was playing this RPG, turn-based RPG on my PSP. I came home from school. I went over to my mom's house. I think it was going into the weekend. I made sure that I brought the cord. I plugged the cord right up to the silver flat screen TV that she had at the time. I think it was from Panasonic. And I continued to play the same RPG that I was just playing. It just hooked right up and it just started playing. I didn't need a docking station. I didn't need anything. You just plugged it in and kept playing. The thing about this is, how the fuck does the PlayStation gaming community allow Nintendo and their fans to take credit for technology PlayStation was doing already? Remember, the 3DS did not allow you to hook up to a TV and continue to play what was on the 3DS on a TV. The DS, the original DS, didn't allow you to do this. This was PlayStation's first handheld, and it was doing this. PlayStation's first handheld had a camera attachment. PlayStation's first handheld allowed you to listen to radio. PlayStation first handheld had GPS. PlayStation's first handheld had a full internet browser. It had full theme support. You could watch movies, look at pictures, listen to music, make playlists on your music, then transfer that to your PS3 to have a playlist on your PS3 created from your PlayStation Portable. Like, what are we talking about here? How do we give credit to Nintendo when PlayStation was doing this shit before? And this is just one example. Again, the PlayStation 2i. Like, we can't, we're not going to do this. So, yeah, when PlayStation brings out their handheld, if they are going to go and bring out another handheld, you probably are going to see me there day one. I'm going to support it. But that wasn't it. Like, he had a modified one. I think this was the original one.
Kellogg's cereal. Grain, sugar, salt, malt. That's it. In case you were wondering. Plus vitamins and minerals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because now they have to tell the truth about the real ingredients in the cereal. It looks a lot normal now.
And ice cold milk.
Yeah, they gotta tell the truth about it. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that they're telling the truth about what's in the cereals. Probably still not gonna eat any of that though. But yeah, it's good to know.
Put DAV in.
So you see that he had you see his little cord. It was really that simple. It was just
AV inputs on the.
He's going so fast. So there we go.
We have an AV.
There we go. So that's it.
AV.
There's one cord right there. Right here. This one right here too. That cord. That one goes into the bottom of your PSP. If you grew up gaming in the 90s and early 2000s, you know about the red, white, and yellow cord. Those are going to go into the back of the TV, and that's it. So, I mean, at any time, if you wanted to plug your PSP into a TV and play what's on your PSP on a TV, you could do that at any time. Just make sure you had that cord. I think the cord was about $20 back then. That's it. That's it. Now, you know, if I was to get a PSP, obviously the other person showed that there's an amplifier that would allow you to like hook this up to a HDMI TV, and thus I will be able to hook it up to the Elgato and like record you know, PSP gameplay for you guys, which I did end up doing for the PlayStation Vita. I was able to hook that up through my Elgato at the time and record gameplay for this YouTube channel with a PlayStation Vita TV device. But yeah, PlayStation had been messing around with this technology for a very long time. It's very simple technology. Now what Nintendo is doing is like, okay, well, you have the dock, you click it into the dock and some other stuff happened. But this was a lot more simplified. And it shows you right here that they were doing it. I talked to you guys about this for years. I've always talked to you guys about this story of me just hooking up my PSP to the TV. But here it is. This is how easy it was. It literally was a fucking cord. Sold by PlayStation. This was not a day one feature, by the way. Here's the funny part. This came through a firmware update. They released a firmware update that allowed this to be a possibility, and all you had to do was buy a fucking $20 cord. If you didn't want to buy the $20 cord, you didn't need to. If you had a friend with one or something like that, you're good. It was just, man, They were on their shit. Yeah, Nintendo always wanted to mess around with that. Yeah, you had the Game Boy Color, but it wasn't a PSP camera. It wasn't a full colored camera. It wasn't a camera you could use during Skype chats. And yes, the PlayStation Portable had Skype. PlayStation Vita had a better version of Skype, and it had a built-in camera back and front. What I'm saying is that when PlayStation got into the handheld race, they allowed everything to be possible with this first handheld. A lot of the features I just talked about were not in the Game Boy. It wasn't in the Game Boy Color. It wasn't in the Game Boy Advance. It wasn't in the Game Boy Advance SP. It wasn't in the DS. It wasn't in the 3DS. It wasn't in the newer models of the 3DS. The PSP was doing things that other Nintendo systems just wasn't going to do. Nintendo wasn't going to always do these features. And when the Vita came out, it just was fucking crazy. All of that shit was in the Vita. You didn't need an attachment for GPS. You didn't need an attachment for the camera. You didn't need an attachment for the radio. I think, there were different little radio app stations I could get on the PSP so that I could listen to the radio using my PSP.
I'm gonna plug this
that
end
motherfucker was
PSP,
fucking amazing.
like so. And then this end we're going to plug into the AV inputs on the TV, which are the yellow, white and red. We're now going to tell the TV to look for the AV input. So go to input, down to AV, press OK. And now on the PSP we're going to hit this button that looks like a screen. So press and hold this, hold it down for about 3 seconds, and you will see a symbol will come up, and then after that it will go onto the TV.
Bam!
And now
that easy.
You can have picture and sound on the big screen. When you're playing a game, it will be windowed, so if you have a zoom option, then it will look better, because then it will remove the border from the edge. Now, to put it back onto here, you just need to tap that screen button again, and it will come back onto here, or unplug the AV cable. Thanks for watching.
So, I could do this all day, but I don't need to. Either you're going to believe me, or you can go listen to a Nintendo fan tell you some fucking bullshit. Because the weirdest part about this story, I was an original Nintendo fan up until the DS. DS was my last system. So, I migrated from Nintendo to PlayStation in 2005. Yep. Left them in 2005. Left Nintendo in 2005. And I've been with PlayStation ever since. So about 20 straight years as just a PlayStation gamer. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo tried with some stuff, but it was really, really bad. A lot of the stuff they tried with was really, really bad. What I experienced on the DS blew my mind. Pick no chat, being able to be in close proximity with my cousins to play the Metroid Prime demo with the DS. It was just crazy. And again, I know I tell you this stuff all the time. And you're like, what the fuck, a Metroid Prime demo? What is that? DS Metroid Prime demo. Yeah, there was a Metroid Prime demo that had came with the DS if you got it. I remember I got it around, I think it was November 2004, with the help of my brother and my mom. I think I was able to do chores and just different things to get money, collect penny. I remember one of the things I was doing, just collecting any penny I saw. And I was able to get half of the money that I needed for the DS. And yeah, it was called Metroid Prime Hunters. And I'll show you the high resolution, because that's what my memory is gonna
you need to optimize your supply chain of key deliverables.
Yeah, so this is when I was playing it. This is what it looked like to me all that other blurry shit. I love when YouTubers post the true quality of stuff. This is what it looked like to me. It was really good. It blew my mind. It was first person. It was three-dimensional graphics. Remember, I'm coming from the Nintendo Advance SP. I skipped the Advance. I came from the Nintendo Advance SP, which was an amazing system. Backlight was great. You know, foldable little handheld, fit straight in my pocket. It was a great system. I came from those graphics to the DS, and yeah, they did keep the promise of three-dimensional graphics. But again, when I went over to the PSP, it was even better. And I know this was supposed to be a part of it because I saved some of this stuff in my favorites playlist, which I'll be making a new playlist for gaming history and gaming news, and it'll be on my YouTube channel. And this will be where it'll be a collage of just different people's YouTube videos where I see knowledge and stuff like that. Again, all our topics are here. All our topics are here in my favorites right here. So we're gonna be covering a good amount of those topics right here. But I did want to show you just a little bit of like the PSP. So this is PSP. These are PSP graphics. This is what it looked like on PSP. And you saw DS. One of the best examples of DS graphics was Metroid Prime the demo, because it was a demo. I remember playing Rayman. I remember playing Need for Speed. I think it was Need for Speed Underground 2 on the DS. And I can't remember what else I played on DS. I know I played the launch lineup. Before the middle of the following year in 2005, my DS had gotten stolen. And then my female cousin, she just didn't want to be a gamer anymore. And she had gotten a DS for Christmas, which was crazy. She got the DS from my aunt for Christmas for free. I fucking paid money. I was working, doing chores and everything just to make sure I could get the money to get it day one. Again, big shout out to my brother James and my mom for coming up with the other half, but she just didn't want it anymore. So I was lucky enough to get it, and then I tell the story all the time of the system dropping out of my pocket onto carpet and the top screen cracking. And I just basically went back to being a Game Boy Advance gamer because I could only use the bottom screen. The top screen was cracked. Digital ink or whatever that shit was spilling out. I couldn't see anything. And again, I'm still in high school. I don't really, I got money like that. So I was visiting my brother a lot. I was watching him play a lot of PS2, and he knew that I was a handheld gamer. My mom, I guess, got the idea from my brother, and then they surprised me during Christmas of 2005 with a PSP of my own for Christmas, and it was really, really nice. I remember one of my first games I got, which was really, really crazy now that we talk about COVID, which it was a game called Infected. It was a zombie third-person shooter called Infected, where you could chain the virus between the zombies to get boosts and bonuses. I'll show you what that looks like. But again, the PSP was a great system. It was basically a PlayStation 2.5 in the palm of your hand. Some games were like on the level of PS2, and then some were a little bit higher. Again, you were playing games like Grand Theft Auto. There were like a lot of different things. You had Def Jam. I remember having Def Jam on PSP. It was Def Jam Fight for New York to Take Over. Like, the PlayStation Portable, aka PSP, was such an amazing system. Like, a lot of people don't understand. PlayStation was in it. They was in it. I think the system went on to sell 80 million copies. Now, there's a lot of piracy. Yeah, I wasn't involved in any of that, but there was a ton of piracy. But the game system was highly supported. Again, you know, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker got its start over on PSP, and it looked great, as you can see. Like, it was a great looking fucking game. The only thing that sucked about PSP is that it had one analog stick. I think that was the only thing that people like really didn't like. When the Vita came out with 2 analog sticks, people liked it, but a lot of PlayStation gamers didn't like it enough to buy it. I don't know. The Vita coming out a little bit before the PlayStation 4 getting announced, it confused a lot of gamers. They didn't know, hey, should I buy the PlayStation 4 or should I buy the Vita? Nobody thought to buy both, so they didn't. A lot of people just picked the PS4. But I had already gotten the Vita. I got the Vita day one, so I didn't have to make that decision. So when the PS4 got announced, I just picked that up. And I think that was a lot of confusion. Yeah, there was an exclusive Kingdom Hearts game that looked, again, as you can see, looked fucking amazing for what the PSP was. It was a great fucking little handheld, man. What's this? Yeah, there was a Resistance game. Now, this game, I do remember they put it on the PlayStation 5 via the classics. Oh yeah, there was they had made a 3D Final Fantasy game. What was it? This one, I forgot what this one was called. It came out, I think it came out well past the lifespan of the PSP. But it was, as you can see, looked amazing. Obscure the Aftermath. Some pretty damn good graphics. I remember hearing about Obscure, but I don't remember buying or playing it. Looks cool. It's like a Silent Hill. I remember this motherfucker. I played both and beat both of the God of War games. Fuck, man. Yeah, they were on their shit, man, with the PSP. It was highly supported, but I feel like the change in management and preparing for the PS4 kind of overshadowed the Vita. And when gamers made the decision not to support the Vita, Sony listened and they made that decision to just only support the Vita. This is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, which is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. One of my favorite games on the Vita. I did pick up the remake and I did beat the game. Great system. Does PlayStation need a handheld? No. But if they bring one back, I hope you guys support it. Don't just ask for something and don't support it. I've seen it happen in so many different communities. I'm kind of getting tired of that. It's almost as if you're ordering a pizza and having that chef make that pizza with all the toppings, and then you never go to pick up the pizza and they never get paid. Like, they wasted resources. They wasted their time to make something for you just for you not to support it. This is why I'm so against the PC port begging community. There's an image that if I share publicly, they will come after me. I was told not to share this image, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is where it started. This right here, the PC port begging community. A lot of the PC trolls, they know exactly who this is. If it wasn't for this individual right here, this person, the name that will not be said, they would not have felt emboldened to beg and continuously beg. And I'll also take responsibility. If I did not draw enough attention to PlayStation and their greatness, then PC fans would not want to troll PlayStation with that campaign. But then again, I desperately wanted the PlayStation gaming community to stand the fuck up and let PlayStation know, like myself, that, hey, bro, these dudes aren't going to buy the game. They're just trolling you. You're going to do all this work. You're going to make these ports. They're not going to buy the game the way you think they're going to buy the game. The anomaly is Helldivers. It's always been Helldivers. But what about the other 19 or more games PlayStation has ported to PC in the last 5 years? They have not been successful. So, I've said it on Twitter. I'll say it again. Not every game is going to have the outcome, the successful financial outcome, like Helldivers 2. They're not always going to reap those benefits. Yeah, the Xbox ROG Ally is, we already know what it was. It's a PC handheld with an Xbox logo. That doesn't count. Xbox is not in the discussion of handhelds. And it never should have been in the discussion of handhelds. Especially when they announced that they were canceling the project that would have given them a dedicated handheld. So yeah, they were already out of the discussion. I don't know why any PlayStation fans continue to entertain the Xbox fanboys. They should have just stopped at a certain point, bro. Like, these dudes are out of it. Soon as Phil Spencer said, you know, what does it say? They said they were going to postpone it or put it on a shelf or something. Whatever terminology they used, we knew what it meant. We knew it meant cancellation. Especially with them canceling so many games up until that announcement, we already knew they were going to cancel it. Yeah, but in today's day, I'll say this. I don't think people want portable games. I just think people want to play their games on the go. If that makes sense. You know, I don't think they want a game made for a portable. They just want to play their games on the go through a portable device. Like, let's if we're being honest, Nintendo doesn't make handhelds anymore. Their last true handheld was a DS. What they're making now are basically Wii style games or Wii U style games, and they're allowing you to play them on the go. Your Joy-Cons or your little Wiimotes. You remember the Wiimotes? You needed two and you could make all gestures. That type of technology is still on the Switch and Switch 2. It's basically just a Wii. They're making Wii style games. That's why the technology isn't good enough to get a Grand Theft Auto 6 or a Battlefield 6 to run on the Switch. It is what it is. I have a bit of information that I want to share with you guys. This is not a part of the PlayStation Legion. The PlayStation Legion news and updates. It is very, very, very important. I want to share this information with you. It is weird. I never expected this person to say what they said in this interview, but it is what happened. the Capcom president blamed PlayStation for having a more expensive console for the reason why Monster Hunter Wilds didn't sell well. This is his words, not mine. I could have swore that Monster Hunter Wilds broke all type of sales records worldwide. And one of the major reasons why that happened is because when it came to consoles, the only game console that actually racked up sales for Monster Hunter Wilds was the PlayStation 5. Now, I've said this 2 different times on Twitter today. If he's not happy with what the PlayStation gaming community did for Monster Hunter as a series from PS2 all the way to PS5, then maybe, just maybe, he should release Monster Hunter Wilds on the Nintendo Switch 2, which again we know he won't because he can't. My thing about Capcom and some other Japanese developers that just believe that PlayStation and their gaming community, they're not supporting the game, or the system's too expensive and we can't get the game to sell. If your game was better, people would pick it up. I love Monster Hunter. It was a day one no-brainer. I own a PS5 Pro. Again, there was no reason for me not to buy the game. I did my test during the beta, both betas. I didn't have any problems. I had already had the LG TV, so I was doing performance. I did a performance test. I didn't have any fucking problems. It was PC that was having all the fucking problems. It's not my fault that the PC community made your game look bad by constant complaining online about performance issues for the PC version. PlayStation gamers were not bitching and moaning every fucking week about fucking performance issues. I understand developers are afraid of the PC community. These dudes are fucking weirdos. However, don't point your finger at the PlayStation community. Without us, you wouldn't have a fucking Monster Hunter today. Monster Hunter's popularity in the portable scene began with the PlayStation Portable, the very first handheld to ever play Monster Hunter. And the very first console to ever have Monster Hunter, where it started, was the PlayStation 2. So it's weird that the Capcom president would point a finger at Sony and the PlayStation community about what's for real. What's really going on is, bro, point your finger at PC. Point your finger at the PC trolls that are always running around the internet bitching about new updates. Oh, we need a new update for performance. But they don't want to. Damn, If I share that information, that'll expose a lot of PC fans. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. By the way, I'm muting my mic, so you're going to not hear me. But I'm muting my mic.
A technical director for Battlefield 6 confirmed that a, quote, substantial number of players in the open beta were using hardware at or even below the minimum system requirements. They did not provide an exact number or percentage.
Okay. I just wanted to ask the question. And I wanted to see. And it's my first time asking the question. I just wanted to see if it's true. I saw it. I saw the article. Multiple articles. I just wanted to say. There we go. So this was something that happened with Battlefield 6. Obviously, it's a beta, so they're going to get all that data and stuff. So what they're saying over at EA is that the majority of people that were playing Battlefield 6 were playing it at below the minimum spec it would be weird to play it at a minimum or lower than the spec requirement on consoles when, you know, it's only on the current generation consoles, right? The ones that are capable of doing 60 frames or 4K. What this lets us know is that a lot of the PC fans from the beta of Monster Hunter Wilds all the way until the beta of Battlefield 6 never upgraded their PCs. So these dudes are bitching and moaning and port begging, but they have not upgraded their PCs. I think you guys remember over the last 5 years, so many PlayStation ports went to PC with technical problems. Well, there was no problems with those games. There were a lot of high-end PC gamers that were playing those games with absolutely no problems at launch. That's how we got certain clear gameplay at max settings from the PC community. Because a good chunk, not all of them, but a good chunk of them, they are elites. They are real gamers. They play games at max settings, and they have the technology to do so. The rest of them, however, they're all talk. And their PCs are not better than a PS5 Pro, which we've proven so many times. Shit's funny, man. But I'm going to get this these quotes up on screen just so you can believe it. But yeah, the majority of people on PC were playing Battlefield 6, the beta. They were playing them underneath the minimum spec requirement. So again, from Monster Hunter Wilds all the way till now, these guys have not upgraded their PCs. It's been almost a year. It's getting close to a year since the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. I think so. I gotta go look at it. There we go. Let's go take a look at that real quick. We gotta keep this here. Let me go enter the Discord real quick. I was supposed to enter there a while ago, and I need to call Truity. I got a notification. Was it a red alert? No. Yeah. There we go. Later. Okay. What's this? Say it. If you're going to be booting up this machine in your expectation Xbox, I think you're going to be a bit disappointed. What is he talking about? Context. Let me see if Umar has some context for those two screenshots, because I can't report what the fuck that's about. He posted that at 11:17. What is this even about? What is this pertaining to? He doesn't like how. Why do you? That's nerve-wracking. You guys can't post a picture with absolutely no context on what the picture is about. Let me tell you. What is this about? Could be about any fucking game at this point. We're gonna just keep this up on screen because I know it's very, very hard for you guys to believe anything I say, but the internet's telling us this, and the developers are telling us this. EA is telling us this. So, I mean, they got the data. A lot of PC fans were bold enough to go on Battlefield 6. Some of them even cheating and getting caught red-handed. But yeah, the majority of people on PC that played the Battlefield 6 beta, they were playing underneath the minimum specs, which means their PCs are definitely weaker than a PS5 and a PS5 Pro. So, it's good to see. Lorenzo, let me read some of these chats, by the way. Lorenzo, you said it took Capcom a year to patch Dragon's Dogma 2 to at least playable levels. Yeah, they need to see, this is the thing, they need to stop releasing games day and date on PC and work hard on making the console version the best. Or make the game for the console first and port that shit to PC and let them fucking cry anyway. Who cares? I really wanted to pick up Dragon's Dogma. I wanted to pick that game up day one. I really wanted to play that game. At the end of the day, I made the decision not to pick it up. It was too many performance problems that I heard day one. And I was like, nah, I'm not rocking with that. And I had a Pro. Oh, no. I don't think I had a Pro at that point. No, I had a PS5 at that point. I think. Type in MHW for PC. A million videos of them crapping on Wilds. Yeah, they don't like Wilds. But then the Capcom president wants to look at the PlayStation community and say that we're the problem. Like, bro, what the fuck? First of all, we brought your game. You can't say that the price of the PS5 stopped people from buying the game when the game is on the top of the fucking charts. Now, since it rose to those chart levels, it hasn't been selling very well. But that's because you put a lot of your fucking faith in the concurrent craze over there on PC. And they allowed your game to die. Now, the game is good. The story is good. Graphics are good. Music's good. Supporting cast is good, except for one person I disagree with being there. Other than that, I think that the game is a great game. It's definitely a much more polished and better game than Worlds. And they were able to accomplish a lot of great things. But I feel like they were stretched thin. Think about this. You have the PS5 and PS5 Pro, which are going to be able to handle the game no problem. Then you have to worry about I don't even know what insult to throw at Xbox, but just calling it Xbox is enough, I guess. You got the two different Xboxes, the weaker one and the strong one. Then you have a shitload of variables when it comes to weak PCs and strong PCs. And it's just, there should have been a platform that was left out in the cold. And I think it should have been PC. I think they should have focused on console first and released it on PC later. They did that strategy with Monster Hunter World, and it paid off. And PC fans were very happy with the performance of Monster Hunter World, and they were very happy with Monster Hunter World. They got it later, but they got a better product. They got it day and date, they got a worse product. Example, Lost Soul aside, day and date with PC, bad product. I think we see a pattern. Not all developers are going to be like this. Some of them have better resources. Some of them have better engines. But not all of them are that way. And this is something you're going to keep seeing. Listen, man, I scroll back up to see Vegan VR King. I understand, man. I know VR is in your name. I know how much you love VR. And that's cool. But we have to be honest. The price kept a lot of people away. If we're being honest. Now, I know what Capcom said was bullshit. But what I'm saying is true. I've talked to a lot of gamers. I am a gamer myself. I had a lot of interest in VR. My first reason for skipping the original PlayStation VR was that I felt like the technology could have been better, farther along. We got that technology with the PS5, but the price just didn't. I was just like, man, I just paid $500 for the PS5. You're asking me to pay $500 for the VR. So, I mean, there'll be a point when it's like at 200 and maybe I make that decision to pull the trigger. But then do I pull the trigger on the PlayStation Portal, or which one am I going to play the most? And I have to look at what's best for me instead of just owning the platform so I get validation online for owning the platform. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to go and buy the VR just to put a smile on your face. I'm going to get the VR if I'm going to actually play it, if I'm going to actually use it. I'm not, look, again, I'm not spending $500 on a product I'm not going to use just to put a smile on your fucking face. I don't do that shit. I am not made of money. Simple as that. VR just, in my personal opinion, just didn't. There were some games that were like, man, that's pretty cool, but it wasn't enough for me to say, like, pull the trigger on that $500 headset. Nah. Don't know when I'll make that decision. I don't think I will make that decision. We have 3 more years left in this generation, so it doesn't look likely. And with PlayStation, as well as all the other console manufacturers raising prices of their products instead of decreasing the prices, it doesn't look like it's ever going to get to a sweet spot for me, a $200 price point. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Sorry about that. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do with the new VR for PlayStation 6, but with the power of AI, maybe they can find a way to make every game accessible through the VR headset. Like, you know, let's say I'm playing Battlefield 6 and I put on the VR headset and it just automatically calibrates to that game because it's first person. And it's almost like I'm, again, playing a VR specific version of Battlefield 6 because I have that headset. Now that right there is game changing. And that right there would make me get one of those systems. I would love that very much. I do remember that's one of the reasons why I got the PlayStation Move controllers for the PS3. That there were a lot of games that were supporting that technology. You know, I was playing a few shooters. I was playing Killzone 3 that had PlayStation Move support. I was also playing SOCOM 4 that had PlayStation Move support. So there were a good amount of games at launch that had Move support. Yeah, that was really, really good. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I had that information up in front of you guys for a while. Because we know we got a lot of haters, but you can't hate on the facts, okay? But yeah, if PlayStation brings out another handheld, I'm definitely going to be there day one. Let's see what else our notes are taking us to. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Okay, there we go. We talked about handhelds. That's done. Let's talk, and we talked a little bit about third-party PC ports, shit like that. We got the performance. Lee Harris subscribed. Thank you for subscribing, Lee Harris. Yeah, I trust me. I know a lot of gamers that skipped VR. It's not just me. It's not just me. And I skipped VR 2 times, and I think it was for the same reason. The price just didn't. Nah, I was like, nah, bro. You made the headset the same exact price as the fucking hardware, and it's a peripheral. I was like, nah, that's not happening. I didn't pay fucking $300 for the PlayStation Move controllers. Nope, I did not. So I was like, why do you make me pay? It was like $400 for the original VR, and then with this new VR, it was like $500, or it was like $550 with the inclusion of the Horizon Call of the Mountain game. And I was like, are you fucking crazy? I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm good. I think the first VR headset, I made the decision to pick up the PS4 Pro over the VR. I was like, I'll rather pay $400 for that increased performance than $400 for a VR headset that I don't think I'm going to be able to use. I guess it's best to look at the Digital Foundry tech analysis for Xbox. Now, I don't know if they're going to compare it to PlayStation. I hope they do, but let's go see. Let's see. Oh, it looks like they are. Let's turn that audio up so you guys can hear.
But it does struggle with frame pacing. Sony's PS5 system is interrupted by periodic bouts of 16, 33, and 50 millisecond frames, despite technically reaching and holding 30 FPS almost all of the time. This is a long-standing issue that dates back to the game's launch on PS5 consoles a year and a half ago, and it really should be resolved.
Would have been resolved if the developer didn't want to work on the Xbox version behind the scenes.
Helldivers 2 packs another surprise,
and actually made a legitimate pro update.
On all current-gen consoles, there's a performance monitor selector in the menus, which grants access to a range of information.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they did add a performance monitor.
In Doom: The Dark Ages on Xbox, or similar statistics that were briefly exposed in the PS5 version of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. This wasn't present in the game for our prior Helldivers 2 coverage, and the earliest evidence I can find suggests it may have been added to the PS5 version in June or somewhat earlier. In its most expansive configuration, we get a range of values for FPS, DRS scale, total frame time.
I think I remember covering this at one point.
And a GPU busy statistic.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the Series X version for now. There are a few stats we can dispatch quickly. FPS is basically a slightly more granular, on average version of what we provide with our own framerate tools. GPU render time, DRS, and GPU busy.
Now, I'll say one thing, and Digital Foundry probably would not like this. It would be nice if the PS6 has like a performance monitor for all games. That would probably put Digital Foundry out of business. Like if the PS6 launched with a performance monitor, that would just put them out of business. I'm gonna go to IGN because Digital Foundry is like talking about PlayStation, what it didn't do. I want to see what Xbox isn't doing, and they're taking forever to get around to that. Yeah, I don't know why they're taking so long to give us an update on that. Let's see. PS5 versus Xbox graphics.
A 3072 by 1080 resolution.
What the fuck? Did they start an ad within the ad? There's an ad for Helldivers on the IGN video. Let's see, do they announce? Yeah, they announce it for PC and Xbox.
Streamline your essential workflows.
Third party. That's a third party game made by PlayStation. Okay, let's move over here.
Which is matched exactly
PlayStation's better
on Xbox Series X. As the graphical effects, texture quality, shadows, level of detail, everything. By playing both consoles in a multiplayer game together, we can match everything precisely, even down to the swarm of arachnids. And both quality and performance are a pixel perfect match, with the quality mode now targeting approximately 80% of a full 4K output at 3072 by 1728 on PS5, but bizarrely, a lower 3072 by 1080 resolution.
At Wawa, every sip is
there is an advertisement in the middle of that. The fuck?
Again, around 8% of the full 3840 horizontal axis on Xbox Series X.
PlayStation's better. How can you say it's the same? Look at PlayStation over here. Look at Xbox muddied and blurry over here. Again, look at PlayStation over here. Look at Xbox muddy and blurry over here. You can't fucking say it's the same fucking game. And it's funny when they say it and then they're showing that it's not. You're saying it's the same until you zoom in and you say, oh, it's not the same when you do this, then it's not the same. Why did you say it was the same and then you zoom in? You have to retract your statement that you just made like less than a minute ago. It's not the fucking same.
Now, this is an approximate 66% increase in pixels over the performance mode, and it compresses the vertical axis by 50% from a full 2160p height. From a porting perspective, this doesn't make sense, as the two base consoles are close enough in specifications to not have much margin for change, even in such a
Now, I'll say one thing. They're running it on PS5 and not PS5 Pro. I feel like that's not right.
dynamic type. Well,
the Pro's been out for a year.
Surely. Now, my suspicion here is that PS5 is possibly using a form of checkerboard reconstruction in its quality mode to achieve those outputs, and on the Series X, the software-based solution is either broken, bugged, or not implemented at all due to the missing hardware. I did see some signs of VRS, or variable rate shading, also enabled on Series X, and all this means the quality mode can be a little softer and have a noisier image than the PS5 and certainly PS5 Pro, but in play the difference is not huge but noticeable.
Okay. They had one segment for PS5 Pro and it's small as fuck. I could barely see it. Let me show you. Look at how small the segment for PS5 Pro is. I love IGN and Digital Foundry and how they do not want to talk about how PS5 Pro is just much better. You gotta love it. That's what I'm here for.
Let's go.
Another advertisement. Don't worry, I'm still here. I'm just muting the audio.
A locked native or possibly checkerboard, also 4K resolution at
much
the same
better
30 FPS rate.
That shit
and the
looks
performance
good.
mode now hits again locked 2560 by 1440 with a silky smooth 60 FPS output.
Exactly.
Texture quality, fog, detail, distance.
Silky smooth.
Overall is a refined version that uses the extra horsepower to improve image quality rather than visual fidelity or frame rates. Now, the Xbox Series S targets 1920 by 1080 with DRS in performance, and it scales very frequently and linearly to a low of 1280 by 720. The PC, like performance,
so it's a 720p game. It is a 720p game. What the shit? Look at those pixels. So it's running at 720p on the Xbox Series S, and they tried to compare this fucking system to a normal PS5 digital. What the fuck with it? We let these Xbox fans and Nintendo fans get away with some fucking crazy fucking shit. They've said some stupid shit online, but this one right here for Xbox fans, the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen. They're running the game at 720p. My God. They're running it at 720p.
Offers a full breakdown of render time, worker threads, GPU time, frame time, and resolution scaling factor. on a real-time frame-to-frame basis. And this is how we can confirm that the Xbox Series X doesn't scale because it doesn't move, whereas it does move here on the Series S. And this confirms my count of 1280 by 720 on both axes as the lowest point, which is 66.6% of both 1920 and 1080. And once we hit this level, we can dip below that 6.
So again, I'm zooming in, but they already zoomed in 200%, so it already looks muddy, but I'm going to zoom in 3 times. This is PlayStation 5. This is Xbox Series X. This is PlayStation 5. This is Xbox Series X. This is PlayStation 5. This is Xbox Series X. Let me go up here. Again, this is Xbox Series X. This is PlayStation 5. This is Xbox Series X. This is PlayStation 5. This is Xbox Series S. This is PlayStation 5. What the fuck is really going on here? That's 720p. That is definitely 720p. What in the fuck? And they mad about why it's running at 720p. Like, I heard Xbox fans said they're not going to buy the game because it's running bad. It's running bad because your system's fucking ass. The game was made for PlayStation. Of course it's going to run like ass on the Xbox. Fucking, these dudes are fucking crazy, bro. Yeah, these guys are crazy. They have no idea what reality is. Wow.
16 millisecond refresh time, often enough to notice. Now, quality is not running dynamic scaling from my counts or the metrics, remaining locked at 2560 by 1440, but all is not as it seems, as again, we appear to be using a reconstruction technique on both axes from a half base, 1280 by 720.
Need to cover the basics but don't have access to credit? If you're short on cash till payday, Tilt can help carry you over.
This means the quality mode offers a similar but varying 77% pixel increase over the DRS scaling performance mode. Now this leads me to believe that Series S runs the same reconstruction solution as Series X, just on both axes. However, more cuts are present. Volumetrics, shadow resolution and filtering, level of detail, and more obviously texture quality are all cut back on performance mode significantly. Both modes appear to also use variable rate shading, which is far more obvious in performance mode and can make the Series S version look very blobby. Now these are less impacted in quality mode, but clearly a rung or two lower than on PS5, Series X and PS5 Pro. The performance mode is the most galling, with textures being incredibly low quality, volumetric fog being blurry, objects being blocky, popping in, decals flickering, and low image quality with heavy aliasing, flickering and ghosting. Quality mode does improve all these areas, and it's hard to ignore on a large 4K screen due to the incredibly poor image of that performance mode. However, the choice becomes less obvious once you start bug hunting and input latency and performance enters the equation.
Stop dreaming, start book.
That's fucking sad. That's fucking sad, bro. Like, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen. You put that game on a platform that didn't even deserve it. Oh, if you wanna be in here, I guess. But enjoy the beach, man. You can listen. You can enjoy the beach. Enjoy your day off. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. We're gonna go back and just take a look at some of the comments and see what some Xbox fans have to say about this. So I'm gonna take my comments off so that we can read their comments. Mute this real quick. There we go. Let's go see what some of these comments say. I'm really enjoying Helldivers 2 on Xbox. If you're wondering whether or not you should get the game, this is your sign. Buy it. They must have not watched the video, but okay. The fact that they made it $40 is the reason you should buy it. It's so good. Yeah, Xbox fans are very cheap. They're the cousins of the PC fans, so it makes sense that they're fucking cheap. How is it possible that Wukong looks great on Series S? No, the fuck it doesn't. Wukong does not look good on the Series S. Stop lying, bro. That's already been proven false. See, I think that Helldivers 2 should be easy enough to play really good on PS5 and 5 Pro. And I feel like the developer Arrowhead Studios should have spent a lot more time on the PS5 and PS5 Pro version. I think they should have released an official update for the PS5 Pro that allows you to play the game at 4K and 60 frames per second. But they didn't. They were ready to release this game on Xbox, but they were like, nah, after a year, we're still not going to release a dedicated update for the PS5 Pro. So that right there lets me know where their allegiance lies, and I probably won't be buying their next game. You know, that's just, hey, that's, look, man, PlayStation helped you make this game. You could have at least made a dedicated PS5 Pro update that allowed you to play Helldivers 2 at 4K 60. This is, again, like people have said, an older engine, and it should be a no fucking brainer for you to enable that ability. There are games that are on newer engines that can do 4K 60, or at least 1800p 60 locked. But they didn't do it. It's weird. Yeah, they had a small section showing how it runs on PS5 Pro. They didn't want to tell the truth about it. I don't know why, but hey, they just didn't want to tell the truth about it. So this person says it crashes every couple of games. This person said the game is fun, but it's blurry as fuck compared to the PlayStation. And of course it is. Xbox exclusive players since OG Xbox. Thank you PlayStation and Xbox for letting this happen. Great game. That looks like a bot. Like a literal bot. You can really tell fake accounts by their names. When they have a Sam-QD8CJ, that type of shit, you can kind of tell they quickly made their account and they're not real. It runs like dog poo on my Series X. Had to go back to the Pro. Why is it so blurry on my Xbox compared to my PS5? Again, they're asking obvious fucking questions. Like, your Xbox is ass. That's why it's fucking blurry. It should run even better on the PS5 and PS5 Pro, but the developer has not released an official PS5 Pro dedicated update. Should be a no-brainer with the support of PlayStation. I don't understand why PlayStation hasn't even commissioned these developers to release such an update. They're doing a lot of DLC. They're doing a lot of updates for the game, but not the performance and resolution on the PS5 Pro. That should have been a main priority. Should have gotten that shit out the way last year. Okay. I've seen all I needed to see. We're moving on to the next topic. Now, this was posted a month ago. I think we really need to talk about. I don't think I want to talk about their video, but hold on. Just give me 1 second. I'm just muting it. I don't feel like hearing any of these ads. I want to look at the dedicated gameplay, and I want to do a real full review of all leaked gameplay. I want to do that on the birthday of the announcement, which will be 4 years old, and that will be September 9th. But right now, we'll watch this little video, right? So, as we know, I'm going to put the chat back on. But as we know, Wolverine is the announcement for the Marvel Wolverine PS5 game by Insomniac Games will be 4 years old this September 9th. Today's date is September 2nd. Next week, I believe next week is September 9th. Long story short, what this means is that for 4 years, we've only got the announcement. We have not gotten official gameplay from the developer. We have not gotten any real release dates from the developer or updated release dates. We haven't gotten a lot of anything. It would be nice if we got something, but we didn't. One second. PS Silent Light. What do we have to tell them? I missed something. I must have missed something. Augusta, you said I won't be getting their next game since they don't want to fix these problems with the screen tearing and glitching. Exactly. Like, whether it's screen tearing and glitching for you, or whether it's making sure that the PS5 runs at a locked 60 frames native 4K, which is possible. With an engine that old, it's fucking possible for the PS5 Pro to do that. My problem here is that their focus was on releasing content and DLC and making sure that they had an Xbox version rather than making sure that they gave a dedicated PS5 Pro update to the PS5 Pro owners. Which, again, purchase your fucking game. We didn't wait for a sale, right? We didn't do that. We didn't wait for it to go to another platform. Nope, we didn't do all that. We brought your game day one. I won't be buying your next game. Simple as that. Probably not going to be going back to Helldivers much often. Like, just gonna be honest. I might check out the Bug Hive shit, but yeah, could care less. Got the Platinum already. Got the Platinum. I believe I got the Platinum last year. I'm good. Puts a bad taste in my mouth. But I will say that the majority of Xbox fans did not play that game. I just thought about something. Oh shit. I had saw a video of Kidsmoove. Kidsmoove was on Gears of War recently on multiplayer, and people were trolling him online by whooping his ass and shit, and he was raging. Yeah, let's go see that. Is this multiplayer? I think this multiplayer. Hold on. Y'all need to see his face.
This nigga got, but the thing is, he was in cover just chilling. I went up in him, and nothing happened. It's like, what?
Now, I want y'all to remember, Gears is a game that a lot of Xbox fans praise as their holy grail. We haven't even gotten to Uncharted.
This motherfucking game.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Bro. Okay, so you hate the game, but it's the game that you fucking love. You just said you hate the game, but it's the game that you said is better than all PlayStation exclusives, but you're getting your ass handed to you on your own game.
Oh my god.
The game's been on Xbox for 20 years. How are you this bad?
It's like, I don't know why this game does this shit to me.
Can't make it up. Can't make this shit up.
You fucking can't aim at nobody. You gotta do all this fucking fuckery just to, and this thing. Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. It's like shit can't be straightforward in this fucking game. I aim at you, I shoot at you, you should go down. Like, it shouldn't be no fucking weird ass science, man. This game is for the fucking birds, man.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say one thing. I agree with Kidsmoove, but it is his game. Like, this is not my game. I played it for the first time during the beta, and then I beat the whole game on insane difficulty with Afro's help. It would I wouldn't have done it on insane difficulty if it wasn't for Afro. But what I'm saying is that I understand where he's coming from. This is a weird game, in my personal opinion. But this is the game that they worship. He's an Xbox fan. They worshiped this game for the last 20 years. From the PS3 generation all the way till the PS5 generation, I heard Xbox fans bragging about how great this game is. This does not look fun. It didn't look fun when I was doing this against an enemy on a single player.
Yo, I'm sick and tired of shooting niggas all the time and nothing happening to them. This is a bad example. Now you gonna have people walking around thinking they can just take shotgun shots to the fucking face and nothing's gonna happen. Like, this is.
We got beat.
One kill, one break. That's how. One kill. That's pretty much what I'm sorry.
So they're going up. So
anybody
I'll say one thing. Let's go take a look at this. And this is really important for us to see. There's one PlayStation guy on the other side. There's 3 people on PC. And then there's all 4, all 3 Xbox guys on his side. And 1 person on PlayStation. So basically PC versus Xbox and PC won. So if he's wondering why he lost so bad and why it looked like they were doing weird shit, is because you're playing against PC. Now again, the Xbox fans, they love that PC is taking all the PlayStation games and stuff like that, and they don't understand that with an integrated community, this is the type of experience you might deal with. You're gonna like lose all the time when you competing against PC in any type of a shooter, or maybe even if it's a racing game or even a sports game, because they do cheat. I mean, it is what it is. There were 2 people on his side though that had 0 points of any kind. They didn't have any kills, they didn't have any downs, they didn't have shit. So it was basically 2 versus 4 at a certain point in time. Maybe the other 2 left. So if we're looking at it that way, it was 2 Xbox fans versus 3 PC guys and a PlayStation dude. But again, I'm happy that he's playing the game, but he is proving a point.
1 kill, 1 break. That's how 1 kill. That's pretty much what I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Anybody, they're either cheating or they're not. There's something they're missing out on in life.
I think that he's missing out that they're from PC. It's literally right there. There's an icon that lets you know that they're playing on PC. Maybe he doesn't know what that icon looks like, but I've played enough crossplay titles to know what that icon looks like.
To be doing that shit in video games. There's something is getting not enough attention in real life. If you're gonna be that much of a sweat, something in life is not getting. Yeah, they're playing on PC, so I assume they're fucking cheating.
Now he fucking figures it out. Now he figures it out.
Yep.
He must have not saw the icons earlier, but now he figures it out.
They lucky this is my map, because I'm about to fuck him up.
I think I remember this map, and I think that this is the video I saw on Twitter, and I don't think he's going to win. I think he's going to lose really, really bad. Yeah, I think this is the one. Because he was... I could be wrong, but I think this is the video I had originally saw on Twitter earlier today. And I think that he's going to lose this one. Yep, this is the one. Yep, this is the one. This is the one. Yeah, I think he's gonna lose this one.
Apparently, that's just a situation I'm gonna have to just deal with. Like, oh my god! And they still managed to clear.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Like, we go watch a little bit more, but like, this is proving a point that this is the game they've worshipped for 20 years, and a lot of them don't remember that it wasn't that good. But they have been lying to us about how good it is, and they don't like it. I know that Afro loves the game. He has a passion and love for the game that I've never seen from any real Xbox fan. But the real Xbox fans, they're not having the best time. And I thought that Kidsmoove was like a real Xbox fan, but you know what they say about them. They don't know how to play games, so I guess this is true. This shit is funny. I think he's about to rage real bad. I think the big rage is coming up. Well, one of the videos I saw, like, people were like taunting him, dancing around him and shit every time they downed him. Because I think they know who he is, so they're targeting him. But, yeah. He gonna try to sneak up there. I don't think he could be successful with this.
Fuck, there's so many of them bastards.
Oh, he's fucking toasted. Oh, he got one.
Oh.
Yep, he got them when they were confused or when they preoccupied.
I'm already, I've already matched my output from the last game. No, actually I doubled it.
That's good.
Okay, sure. Oh, there's somebody on our team that's not playing.
Damn, bro. He got people on his team not playing. That right there sucks.
We're just gonna have a fucking problem.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna lose this one. Pop and smoke.
Look at this big square head. Yo, it's hard to lock in when everything they do is an automatic fucking kill.
Damn, they got you, bro. They got you. They got you, bro.
I couldn't even.
Yep, they got you. Jeez. I did not enjoy the competitive multiplayer beta for this. And I was like, nah, I'm not going back to the multiplayer. I played the story with Afro. I've played better. I'll say that. I've played better games. Games with guns, RPGs, all types of games. I've played better games than Gears of War. What? Yo! Let me get the fuck out of here, bro. What the fuck? Oh, shit! What the fuck? Oh my god. I mean, we got... Look, man. We gotta give a lot of respect to Kidsmoove. Cause he's not having a good time on Gears, but he is playing the fuck out of it. He is streaming it. He is posting gameplay, but he's not having a good time on Gears. At least he's posting gameplay. I have a lot of respect for Kidsmoove in that regard. You got people like Call Eastwood. They're not touching the game. They're not playing it at all. Let's go over to his channel. He's still just posting nothing but clickbait. He's just posting clickbait after clickbait. Yeah, he's posting clickbait. He's not playing the game. He's not playing any games. He's just posting clickbait. Reveals, leaks, rumors, that's it. Boring ass shit. The same shit he's been posting for years. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm trying to see. Oh, by the way, when you see this, let me make sure you guys know what our stream is going to look like. This is how our stream is going to look tomorrow. So when you see that thumbnail, you know that'll be our stream. That is our stream for the 007 State of Play. We're going to be, I'm going to be reacting to it, and we're going to do a review of what we see. And that's it. A reaction and review of the State of Play. And that's how it's going to look. It's already set. It's set for tomorrow to go live at 1 a.m. Oh, shit. That says 1 a.m. I got to go change that to 1 p.m. But just trust me, I got that shit. You know, change that shit right fucking now. How the fuck did it say 1 a.m.? The fuck? The weirdest fucking thing in the world. No. There we go. 1 p.m. Great. That's perfect. Let me see, did it change? Yeah, it changed. So we're going live tomorrow at 1 p.m., not a.m., 1 p.m. And this will be how our thumbnail looks. So if you guys are wondering, yes, we will cover the state of play tomorrow. It'll be a reaction and a review. And this will be how our thumbnail looks. It shouldn't be very confusing from the real state of play. I'm not trying to do that. I just want you guys to see what it looks like. Now, I think when we covered the Ghost of Yotai dedicated state of play, it looked like this. I colored in the state of play letters, and I might do this again. So, yeah, I might end up doing this again. So, I got to go take a look at what mine looks like, and I might color the words in again before tomorrow. So you might see the state of play might have a little blue, but I felt that I didn't need it to have blue because I had the little cornerstones, the PlayStation cornerstones. So I was like, nah, it looks fucking fire. Yeah. So we're going to be getting around to talking about 007 today, right about now. But that was funny. Yeah. But it's funny, but you know, again, Kidsmoove, not trying to tease you or anything, man. I got a lot of respect for you. Like as a gamer, it's like, man, whether you're good or not, you're still posting it, and that's awesome.
His parents cut.
Okay, so we're gonna go take a look at the James Bond announcement trailer. I'm going to look at it at the highest resolution, and I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are and what my problem with it is. And it's not that the PlayStation's wasting another state of play slot talking about a third-party game that's on all platforms, that the developers should be able to promote themselves. That's also one of the problems, but it's not the major problem. It's the problem with the developer and their engine and how outdated it is. I don't mean to look at the shoes. I don't mean to look at the shoestrings. I don't mean to look at the pants legs, but I'm just pausing here so that I could have a reference point to look at the rest of the video with you. But me looking at this does not look good. And that is how old the engine is. This is the Hitman engine. This is the Hitman engine. Now, this is Uncharted. This is the Uncharted engine. This is what shoestrings look like on Uncharted. Uncharted is almost 10 years old. Next year, it'll be 10 years old. This is what shoestrings look like on Uncharted 4. A 10-year-old game. Originally. This is running on a PS5 Pro. This is a PS5 remastered version. Just cleared up what was already there. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It was already looking good. Now, I want y'all to remember, the new 007 game is coming out next year. It's a newer game than this game. It's newer than the remaster of Uncharted 4. It's newer than Uncharted 4, which next year will be 10 years old. Is there a reason why Nathan Drake's character model looks better? Is it a reason why Nathan Drake's pants legs look better? Is it a reason why the same shoes look better? Is it a reason why the shoestrings look better and have fabric textures on them? Is there a reason? It is a waste of time for PlayStation to try to promote that game, to convince other gamers to pick the game up. I am going to go out on a limb and say this on the record. I believe it's going to be a similar catastrophe on the level of Suicide Squad. I feel like 007 has a character or characters that we know and love, but I just think that their take on it isn't going to be as loved. I think it's exciting because we haven't seen a 007 video game in so long. I also think it's exciting because it's a 007 video game that's either a retelling of his youth or a first telling of his youth. I feel like this should have been a HBO, well, you know, Amazon has the rights, but I think this should have been an Amazon TV show where they, you know, they told the story of James Bond from before he became the Bond we know to the leading up to the legend of James Bond as he is now. I would have watched that on Amazon Prime. I don't think it should have been shoved into a video game. This is my personal opinion, but I will be right on this. I've been right so often, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I'm not going to be right on this. It's a day one skip. I'm skipping that shit day one, the first week, the first month, the first year, and the rest of my fucking life. I will not be picking up James Bond. I think that the Hitman games are interesting, but not interesting enough for me to keep picking up. I think that this new 007 game should look much better than Uncharted 4. Even the remastered version. That's what I think. That's what I know. I'm telling you guys something that you're going to hear from other people. I'm showing you guys stuff that you're going to see from other people. I'm just the first to say it. You're going to see people compare 007 to Uncharted 4. You're going to see graphics being compared. You're going to see water being compared. You're going to see car chase scenes being compared. You're going to be seeing guns compared. You're going to be seeing all other types of combat being compared. It's going to fucking happen. I want desperately to save the individual listening to my voice from collecting a L. You don't have to do it. But you're going to do it because somebody more popular than JayTech got you excited to buy the game. They're not going to take the L. You are. They're going to move on to the next topic. They're going to move on to the next game. But you're going to hold that L. Be careful who you follow. And be careful who you listen to. It's a skip for me. It's a skip. It's not getting picked up. We're going to go take a look at it. I'm going to have the video muted. And again, we're going to cover it tomorrow. So it is what it is. But I think it's something that we need to see. And I'm going to play a little bit of Uncharted after we finish a little bit of an analysis of this trailer. And I want you guys to put your best glasses on, or I want you to open your damn eyes and to look at Uncharted and look at this game and use your brain to tell me which one looks better and why the fuck would the 10-year-old one look better. Let's get started. Oh, Solid Snake, what's going on, man? I'm well aware that a lot of Xbox fans are not playing Gears, although they've talked about how great it was for the last 20 years. Yeah, a lot of them are frauds. No, I feel like this is it could have been James Bond Jr. It would have been nice if this was James Bond Jr. But I feel like this is not James Bond Jr. I think they're like, this is a retelling of the origin of James Bond. Possibly somewhat of a prequel. But he's already doing missions. So I don't understand what's really going on here. What I will say is I feel like this should have been a live action series. And if they wanted to make a game, just make a game based off of one of the movies or inside of one of the universes of one of the other, I don't know, the other games. I don't know. There's a reason why they haven't done a James Bond games like this before. They didn't think it was strong enough. And I think they're right. Do you think the name is going to be strong enough to look past all the faults? To look past the outdated engine? To look past the outdated graphics? Is 007 strong enough to look past all that? Hogwarts Legacy had a big scandal with the J.K. Rowling stuff. I didn't care about the scandal. I went and picked the game up day one. I remember watching all those Harry Potter movies and how they made me feel and how I wanted to escape into that world. And I picked that game up. Not only did I pick that game up, I was playing it on one of the best consoles out here on the market. And it was one of the best experiences I had when it came to video games. The only thing I was upset about with Hogwarts Legacy is that they had a level cap that I had already reached, and it wasn't 99. I think it was like, I think I maxed out at like level 40 or some shit. Other than that, I think the game was almost perfect. Not perfect, but almost. You know, they did a great job. I don't think that this 007 game is going to be on the level of Hogwarts Legacy, which it should be, which means it should be close to the source material and also have its own identity. I don't think we're going to see that. Yeah, let's get started. I'm not gonna mute the audio, but I'm gonna lower the audio down to 20. I think we'll just lower it down to 22. So one of the things we need to understand about 007 First Light announcement trailer is that they're letting you know that the footage is alpha footage. They're also letting you know it's a mix of gameplay cutscenes and in-engine footage. The thing is, if they would have said that it's a mix of gameplay and cutscenes, I would be like, okay, that's cool. And if the visuals were much better, I'll be like, okay, that's pretty cool. But they're like, hey, this is alpha, it's gameplay, cutscenes, and in-engine. I think that's bullshit. We all know that what they show is what we're going to get. Now, recently, this generation, it's been that case. In most part, sometimes it's good. Like Battlefield 6. What we saw there, if that's what we're getting, which they said is close to what we're getting, they're not going to change much. They're going to make some tweaks to some of the features. I think somebody was using the slide cancel and abusing that, and they're gonna nerf that and obviously add more maps and guns for the final product. But outside of that, that's amazing. A lot of people had fun with Battlefield 6, so we're all pleased. But this isn't gonna have a beta. It's probably not gonna have any multiplayer demo or anything like that, or a single player demo. So what we're seeing is what they want us to see. Tomorrow is a big day for this game. What they're going to show us needs to look much more different than this. And it needs to look better than Uncharted 4, in my personal opinion. Or it won't even, I won't have a second glance at this shit. I won't even reconsider.
To save him, he watched them fall then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
So his parents died and he climbed up off the mountain by himself. Okay. Let's do a little research using Google. Is it known what happened to James Bond's parents?
James Bond's parents, Andrew Bond and Monique Delacroix, died in a mountain climbing accident when he was 11. He then went to live with his aunt.
Okay, so this is the story of James Bond. This is not the story of James Bond Jr. or somebody else with that same name. This is James Bond. So, because I just asked Google if that story was correct, and that's what they say. I'm gonna go to Google. Just want to double check. I like to double and triple check what happened. I was mentioned in the Skyfall trailers. Yeah. Yeah, it was mentioned in the Skyfall film. Yeah, it was told that yeah, in a climbing accident. Wow, he never been portrayed on screen. His Scottish heritage has been added to the character's backstory to honor the actor Sean Connery. That's pretty cool. There's been a lot of James Bond games that I'm looking at right now. Like, there's been tons of James Bond games. So this is a story about James Bond. And it looks like when he first started becoming James 007.
Always at the top of the always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No. And I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
So my thing about this, if they say, okay, this is James Bond from a different multiverse or something, I guess I could go along with it. Still not going to be a buy. Again, this is in-game, by the way. This is all in-game, and this is a cutscene. But still, the stitching on the clothing, the zippers, all of this stuff that should be updated. It should be on the level of Uncharted. Even 10 years after Naughty Dog made Uncharted 4, it should be on the level of Uncharted. It's been fucking 10 years, right? But because they're using an outdated Hitman engine, that's not going to happen. There are some inconsistencies on the hair particles. That's not full. That's going to be a bad sign that other people's hairs may not look so good. It's really sad. It's really sad. I am not going to convince people to buy the game or not buy the game, but I see stuff that is going to be a major problem. Because if these things squeeze through the loop, everything else could squeeze through the loop. You'll be looking at a game that's hyped up for name, but then when you play it, it's not that good. Suicide Squad had the entire Justice League in it. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. You know, like that was the point to buy Suicide Squad, right? Oh, you're going to have Harley Quinn, and you know, that means maybe Joker's in there and stuff like that. Get excited. Look at all these characters that you know and love. Get excited. Buy the game. And it's like, okay, people were somewhat excited, but they saw the gameplay and it was ass. And then they didn't get excited anymore. The few people that did buy the game, they found out how bad the story was and how bad the game was overall. I exist because there's a lot of gamers that just can't think for themselves. They can't use their powers of deduction to find out that maybe something's wrong. They won't look at a gameplay trailer 10 fucking times in a single day to find out if these textures are real, if they're cutscenes, or if this is what's going to be the end result. It's not good, man. It's not good. I've seen better textures than this. I've seen better textures than this, man. And I'm looking at this shit at 2160p. Do y'all understand this? I'm looking at this shit at 2160p. And I'm letting you know, if I flip back to Uncharted, it's going to look better than this. I'm letting you know, bro. This is a fucking fact. Bro, this is disappointing. And again, this is a retelling of his origin story, which I don't like because it's a modern retelling. That means, again, you're going to have the black geeky girl or boy. In this case, it seems like it's a girl. And she's going to be the girl in the chair that's always helping James Bond and talking to him in his ear about the logistics of the mission and all the knowledge that he needs to know about this and this gadget and everything. I've probably watched too many movies. I probably watched too many TV shows, and I probably played too many games that I know the different types of characters that they're showing me in this trailer. But that's not the bad part. It's the part that the James Bond that we all grew up watching, not the Daniel Craig one, he was by him fucking self. And yes, he had a girl or multiple female characters that he had relations with in individual movies. I don't think the essence of James Bond can be explained in a modern telling because they're going to get in their own way. Again, we've seen this same situation in Suicide Squad. I'm not saying that it's going to be Suicide Squad type of bad or exactly like Suicide Squad. I'm just saying that they're going to get in their own way because they're doing a modern telling of a character that we know. In Suicide Squad, they did a modern telling of characters that we know. It's the same fucking thing. I'm letting you guys know right now. It's the same fucking thing. I'm going to be telling you I told you so. And what the fuck? This is my fucking third time watching this trailer. And she is taking him to the lab where she's going to explain the gadgets. I can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make this shit up. I just called it. I just called who she is. I didn't play the game. I'm not friends with the developers, but I just called out who she is and what she does. And she is doing it. Okay, so this is, let me see, this is, okay, they're in the office room, in the main female's room. So we do have a female boss. I don't know if all the bosses were always female. I know that there was a female boss in the Daniel Craig movies, but she was a legend, so not gonna say anything bad about that. She's an acting legend. She's amazing. The older woman, I can't remember her name, but it looks like you have additional characters, all of which are kind of like doll. So they're either disposable or they're not going to even be seen throughout the rest of the game. I can tell by the quality of the characters, how some of them look like they're not actually finished. Like the guy over here with the shaved head, somewhat low cut with the beard. You know, like he's not really going to be about anything. The other one you could barely see off screen. Again, same thing. The female beside James Bond, they're allowing her to have some sort of emotion with her arms folded. Every other character has their hands straight down, including the two guys on the right hand side. James Bond can have his hands down because it's James Bond, but he has a unique coat. Again, everybody over here except for the redhead kind of doll. So maybe the redhead is also going to be on a mission. Maybe she's a love interest, something like that. It's very easy. The cues are very easy to pick up on if you pay attention. I don't think me explaining this makes the game bad, but it's like they could kind of confuse you in this scene because it's the announcement of the game. You don't want to know who is who, but if you have advanced levels of deduction, you can tell who is who's important in this scene and who's not. It's kind of like old-fashioned cartoons. You could see which cartoons, if you were smart enough, if you looked at the illustrations, you could see which cartoon or what thing in the cartoon was going to move and which other one just could not move. You know, if you watch Flintstones or the old school Scooby-Doos, you could see what could move, and you could see what was kind of like painted in the background and just not going to move. They're not going to make that object move, you know, or make that person move. But this person right here, they drew them a specific way so that they're going to move. You could see it. This somewhat similar. You could see who's important and who's not. So James Bond there. And again, I'm not the biggest fan that it's a modern telling of James Bond because he's now in a modern world. And when you're in a modern world, you're going to have modern themes. When you have modern themes, you're going to have a coalition of anti-woke people that are going to fucking abandon this game. That these developers are desperately hoping will buy the game. And we are looking in the direction of the PC community. They're going to try to sell this game to the PC community. And if this game has any hint, even a 0.1% stench of anything woke, they're going to fucking boycott this game. This engine's just outdated. I can fucking see it. Okay. Stealth. Again, just a lot of the same shit you've seen from Hitman. It's basically Hitman DLC with James Bond. It's really, really bad. Like, it's really bad. Look at those wrinkles. They're flat. They're not real wrinkles. They're just... This is really, really bad. This looks really bad. Cutscene.
Jet lag gets me every time. She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset. With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
this game is going to make the PlayStation gaming community look bad tomorrow. Because there are going to be so many PlayStation gamers that I can't reach right now. They're going to fall for it. They're going to get excited and they're going to take a L by the end of the fucking stream. No pun intended, but there's an L right there. Oh my god. I'm just making a joke about that part, but goddamn, you can see that there's some stuff. Fuck, I don't see nobody picking this up. I mean, sorry, my fault. I see people picking this up. I just don't see it being good. Yeah, I can't say that I don't see nobody picking it up. I don't know if I trust the gaming community to fucking see shit anymore. Enough people fell for fucking Suicide Squad for me to be embarrassed. Like, I do not understand how so many people fucking fell for that. And there were people similar to myself telling you not to buy it, and people still went out and bought it. And then they got disappointed. Let's talk about it. Now, this isn't the state of play. I did not insinuate that this was the state of play. Let's be very specific. We watched the announcement trailer for James Bond First Light, and I did some analysis. There's only a few things that I would need to do some more work on, and that would be to slow down the recording so that we could catch up to the last parts where they started trying to go super fast. Like right around here. Where they tried to go like, they wanted to go like super fast so that you couldn't catch certain things. So he's being tortured right here. Insinuation that you may be using a sword and doing a sword fight, which they did a very good job on Uncharted 4. This game may be taking a lot of inspiration from Uncharted 4. There looks like there's going to be a rogue faction, or quite possibly this could be the main bad guy, because I'm seeing all the henchmen behind him. They have half mask, ones that are just covering the midway of their face up to their nose, and the one on the left side, well, actually two on the left side. Now, one has a helmet on the left side. The one all the way in the far back on the left side with the green pager or whatever that's shining into my fucking eyes right now, I think he also has a half mask. The guy in front right here, he must be the boss because he has gold. You're not going to give a gold half mask to a goon. So he must be the main boss. I think that people that truly love James Bond, they're going to buy this game. No question asked. They will find out after they own the game that maybe it's not so good, or it's not so good. But I don't think that they're going to look at the state of play tomorrow and pick up that it's not so good. But 20 minutes of a deep dive. I mean, hopefully they are showing the best that they possibly can show. The name itself is going to get a lot of people to buy the game. So that's a given. But I don't know if people, once they see what they see from state of play, will they still be like, oh, I still want to buy it, or I still want to skip it. I don't know. Yeah, man, they could do better than this. Yeah, they could do better than this. I've seen better. I think that IOI shouldn't have been in charge of this. especially with that engine that they have. I think they could have done much better than this. Yeah, they could have done much better. I don't think it's using Unreal Engine 5. I honestly don't think they're using Unreal Engine 5. It was not advertised, and it's also not down at the bottom. I think the engine they're using is Glacier. But I can do a check for you right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I highly doubt that they mentioned Unreal Engine 5. Is 00... Oh, fucking bullshit. Is 007 First Light using the Unreal Engine 5 engine?
007 First Light is being developed on IO Interactive's proprietary Glacier engine, not Unreal Engine 5.
Okay, so it's a shitty engine. How long has IOI been using the Glacier engine?
IO Interactive has used its proprietary Glacier engine since its first game, Hitman, codename 47, which was released in 2000.
This engine is 25 years old. 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 Now, remember I told you that this engine old as dirt? I just did the research to prove what I know. It's already true. I think I'm going to be right about tomorrow. I just don't expect everybody to like... Maybe they don't all act like Suicide Squad. Like, Suicide Squad, it seemed like everybody kind of woke the fuck up and was like, yeah, that game's dog shit, once they saw the gameplay. But I don't know. I didn't really see any type of hype for this game. Same thing happened with Borderlands. Borderlands got a dedicated state of play, and the reason why they got that is because there was no hype for the game at all. No one cares. You know, if you announce a mid game, people are going to treat it like a mid game, and they're not going to have any type of interest. Let's play Uncharted 4. Let's play the part where he's in the tuxedo at an event. We're going to quote unquote simulate a similar scenario to what you would expect in the 007 game. Let's do that. So what we're going to be doing is, you know, we're going to be in this part of the game. I think you guys all have seen this. You know, you've seen this part where he's in the suit, he's in the tuxedo and stuff. You've seen this part, right? You see all this, yeah. So we're going to simulate that. Now, I apologize to IOI. I thought that their engine was newer than Uncharted 4's engine, but I was wrong. Uncharted 4's engine seems to be newer than IOI's engine, which, again, they confirm they've been using since the very first Hitman in the year 2000, which would make their engine 25 years old. So it also makes me correct on calling them out for using an old-ass engine. This shit about to be fucking crazy, bro. Bro, I have no idea how they locked down the Hitman. Sorry, how they locked down a 007 contract. Maybe it's because Amazon is just desperate for anybody and they didn't vet them. But I don't think, bro, I don't hear nobody hyping up the game for real. I hear people telling Jay, hey JTech, you should wait until we see more gameplay to make judgment. Nah, bro. Nah. I'm calling this shit now. I'm calling it now. Jesus. Okay, I'm back. Had a guest. Okay. That's good for the next rest of the stream. So, what we're doing, we're going to be doing chapter select. It shouldn't be that far. I think I passed it already. So, it would probably be right around here. Once a thief, lights out, heist challenge complete, hard. So yeah, I did this on the hardest difficulty. Really? Moderate. Hard. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. So I think we're just going to do this on moderate. And we're going to do it from here. Let's start a new save. Solid Snake, you said you don't see how they maintain that engine for so long. But yeah, they needs to upgrade that engine. I guess they've been getting away with it for so long. They think it will that it will work. No, that's a L. Yeah, I think they gotten away with it for a very long time, and I think that 007 is going to basically make it shine that the game is outdated. Now, again, we're playing Uncharted 4 Remaster. This is Uncharted 4 Remaster running on the PS5. This is the PS5 remaster version of Uncharted 4. Just want that to be clear. It's running at 60 frames. I don't know what the resolution is by heart, so I'll get that information. So they got 3 modes: 4K 30 for fidelity, performance at 1440p 60, and then performance plus at 1080p 120. That should be fun to do some analysis on. Now, I'm going to turn the audio up a little bit to 64. The reason why I'm playing this is so we can simulate what you may be getting into for a game like 007. I think this is the most 007 spot. I think that if anyone wants to use this as a reference for comparison, this is probably the best mission to do on Uncharted 4 for a reference to compare Uncharted 4 to the new 007, The First Light. I don't think that 007 is going to do a better job than Uncharted 4 by any means, but it should, because Uncharted 4 is almost 10 years old.
Can't believe I'm here with you in Italy, huh?
Yeah, me either. Just wish the circumstances were less tense, you know?
Well.
You know, the sights are a bit more enjoyable that way.
Oh. So this isn't your first time here?
Oh, it's more like third? Had a couple of odd jobs.
With Sullivan?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if there's anything to pick up over here. It is something to pick up over here. Huh. Oh, I remember this shit now.
Well, there's that exposed beam underneath.
You think you can rope it?
Do I think I can rope it? Watch this.
I'm watching.
missed.
See, it's all in the wrist. Here, let me see it.
See?
Yeah, it's not bad. For a second attempt.
It's funny because they have dialogue for a second attempt. I did that shit on purpose, but I didn't know because the first time I did it without the second attempt. That's pretty cool.
You see that? Oh, like a pro. It's your turn.
Oh, I missed Uncharted so much. I know that Naughty Dog is very focused on The Last of Us, but I really wish they would go back to Uncharted one day.
Hey, let's switch places. All right, climb over me. I've got a good grip.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because he has the... that makes sense.
Okay, there we go.
I remember this. I thought that part, like, climbing over, I thought that was pretty cool, because you never really see that. You just go...
Come on, Nathan. It looks like you can climb down and make your way over.
I feel like... Oh, okay. I get what he's saying.